No, this definitely was a series that was a trip to play, which each game taking anywhere between 10 and 20 hours to get to a point enough to show it. Well, you get the point. Let's take a look at Shogun 2 Total War. If you want to go straight to the action, you can go to minute 404, but actually in 404 my Gatling gun ain't shooting for some reason, so at 435 they're shooting. But technically, all the way from minute 220, my cannons are wrecking havoc on the enemy, so you can go anywhere there. Additionally, we're gonna look at hopefully Rome 2 will play awesome, but it will take me anywhere between 15 to 20 days to get it to a point that I really would want to show it, and I want to play the game too. So most likely you won't see that game for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Here we can actually see me playing at 1280 by 720 with settings all over the map. Actually, you'll notice that I'm actually playing at DirectX 9, not DirectX 10, 11. And you'll notice that my settings are in medium, although the gameplay for the most part wasn't bad. The problem wasn't actually the battles themselves. The problem was the tabletop risk type map. Um, that map, as you will see, the frame rate, even in here, you actually don't see it that much, but the frame rate could easily drop to the mid single units to 7, 8 frames per second. And actually, it only happens when you're moving across the screen. So it doesn't happen all the time. And when you're actually static on a screen, on any screen, you'll notice that the actual map looks beautiful. The flags are flying fast enough. The trains are moving, and everything looks very very animated. But it's when you're actually trying to pan left, pan right, pan up, or pan down, so on and so forth. When you're panning anywhere, you actually start seeing the problems. But like I said, the gameplay actually, when you actually go into the battles themselves, the battles, I just did one map, one gameplay here because it didn't matter if I was storming a castle or if I was on a sea battle. It didn't matter. Actually, the sea battle says constantly stayed anywhere between 40 and 80 frames per second, and storming a castle was just similar to this. It didn't matter if there was snow or how many units there were. Just look at this example here. We got, I believe, like 4 to 6,000 units at once on the screen. So I think the Surface can handle this one. Like I said, the gameplay, when we're actually seeing the actual battle itself, we're anywhere between, actually, if you notice, we did go to high teens at one point, but anywhere between 18, 19 frames per second, all the way to 50 frames per second. And it usually stays anywhere between mid 20s to mid 30s all the time. So it oscillates. When you're close to the units, it actually goes to the mid 20s, or you can go lower. But it usually stays around the mid 20s, and when you pan out, many times will go to the mid 30s, and so on and so forth, all the way to the 50s. So the game actually looks great. It doesn't play bad at all. It looks amazing, and I believe that you could even bump it up to maybe DirectX 11 and maybe bump up some of those water effects. But anytime you're actually in the tabletop risk map, it's just gonna be too much of a pain when you're actually panning across the actual map. I thought this looked good, and it actually looks great on a 10-inch screen. So you get what the Surface can actually give us. And like I said, if you really want to up those settings, most likely you can, and most likely on the actual campaigns, on the actual battlefield itself, most likely you can get even better effects than the ones I'm showing you. But the gameplay is great, and actually I finished the whole campaign. This is the only of the whole Total War games that I was playing. This is the only one that I actually finished on the Surface because I got so into it and it was so much fun, and I never actually was deterred by maybe a slower mid-teens to well, it actually stayed on the mid-teens mostly, all the way to the 30s on the actual risk map, and I enjoyed the game a lot. So hopefully you guys liked this one. If not, let me know. Have a good one.
Their general has fallen!
What do you wish of me? I will distract them. What do you wish of me? I will distract them.
Yes, my lord. Attack! Besieging settlement!
Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price. We have paid that price, and now we reap the rewards. We stand proud, the rulers of all Japan. All hail our mighty leader!
Ready for orders. Setting sail, sir. Sir?